Dallas Mavericks continue a poor trend of playing down to their competition after their latest loss to an inferior team at home against the San Antonio Spurs. This is the Gray Area right here on Kevin Gray Sports. My name is Kevin Gray. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there for all things Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. DeMar DeRozan scored 27 of his 33 points in the second half, including the game-winning jump shot over Dorian Finney-Smith with 0.5 seconds left to give the Spurs a 119-117 win over the Dallas Mavericks, wasting a terrific performance from Kristaps Porzingis, who had 31 points and 15 rebounds. Yes, Luka Doncic had 29 points, but he was 2 of 8 from the three-point line. Collectively, the Mavs went 13 of 42 from downtown, just a 31% clip for the night. But this game was more about what happened as far as a team in the Mavericks who were 29 and 23, a game and a half behind the Portland Trail Blazers, continuing a trend, a little bit of a disturbing trend about playing down to their competition. This is a team who beat Utah and then beat Milwaukee, but have given the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs their only win so far in the month of April. San Antonio was coming into the AAC on a 5-game losing streak. And then they allowed DeMar DeRozan, Lonnie Walker, who scored his 13 points in the final 13-plus minutes of the game, and also DeJounte Murray, who played a spectacular perimeter game, get off on the Dallas Mavericks and hand them a loss that they could not afford to have, especially when you're talking about the second game of a back-to-back being against the Philadelphia 76ers, where most likely Kristaps Porzingis isn't going to play. You waste a terrific 31.15 performance from him. Yes, he fouled out in the waning minutes of that fourth quarter against the Spurs, but nonetheless, this is a team in the Mavericks who Rick Carlisle said after the game is still learning how to win, still learning how to be a team that continues to play with the kind of consistency and the kind of edge that you have to play with night over night, regardless of who your competition is. One thing we've seen from this Mavericks team so far this season, through the 52 games that they've played so far, is that they get up for really good competition most nights. You saw that even against a Giannis-less Milwaukee Buck basketball team, and you saw that and how they handled their business against the Utah Jazz after getting dump trucked by them in Utah in the first two meetings that they had. But then you back it up as far as the Utah game by going to Houston and losing to an inferior Rocket team. You beat the Milwaukee Bucks, and then you back that up with a disappointing loss. Yes, I know the Spurs-Mavericks rivalry is a competitive one and has been so for a long time. But you had the chance, if you're the Mavericks, to make history for the very first time in your 41 years of franchise history. The San Antonio Spurs avoided a season sweep at the hands of the Dallas Mavericks by winning that game inside the American Airlines Center. The Dallas Mavericks are looking to do something that they had not done ever in their 41 years of basketball, which was sweep the San Antonio Spurs. Those are the kinds of things that you want to see from a maturing basketball team, making not just incremental history in terms of regular season accomplishments, but more importantly, recognizing the moment and not giving games away in an ultra-competitive Western Conference where the Dallas Mavericks still sit right now in the dreaded 7th spot as they look to try and move into the top 6 for the Western Conference playoffs and avoid the play-in tournament. This also speaks to how important Maxi Kleber is to this particular Mavericks team. This is a team now that falls to 5-10 when Maxi Kleber isn't in the starting lineup. When Rick Carlisle has his preferred lineup of Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Maxi Kleber, this team on the season is 15-5. That just shows you the versatility and how important Maxi Kleber is to this basketball team. Can guard positions 2 through 5, is a 40% three-point shooter this season, and provides you the versatility on the defensive end that allows guys like Luka Doncic to be hidden at times on the defensive end on the perimeter because of his ability, Kleber's ability, to guard multiple positions on the floor. And more importantly, he's a calming, steady presence in the locker room, but also in the lineup each and every night. He's been dealing with some knee soreness that has kept him out of some recent games and kept him out in the game against the San Antonio Spurs. To me, Maxi Kleber is the most valuable player not named Luka Doncic on this Mavericks basketball team. You saw how inconsistent at times Tim Hardaway can be in this game against the San Antonio Spurs. He went 0 for in this game. He is too streaky to be considered the most valuable non-Luka Doncic player. Well, you say, Kevin, there's also Jalen Brunson, who's had a spectacular and a career year, a potential 6th man of the year candidate. I understand that, but the versatility on both ends of the floor, Jalen Brunson provides you that closing ability, especially in the fourth quarter, can get to the basket when he wants to with his slithery type of game that he has. But Maxi Kleber, for what he does from a perimeter defense standpoint, his ability to shoot the ball from the three-point line, and his versatility in guarding multiple positions on the floor gives me the idea that Maxi Kleber could be the key going forward for this team about how they will move up or down in the Western Conference standings, because his ability to do the multiple things that he does really proves his value night over night. And in a game where you saw DeMar DeRozan score 27 of his 33 points in the second half, get to the restricted area at will, get to his mid-range spots in the floor at will, DeJounte Murray being able to hit the ball from the perimeter, obviously Lonnie Walker putting your man Nicolo Melli on a poster, even though Melli came and bounced back with a couple of three-pointers, especially one at the end of the third quarter to help give the Dallas Mavericks a lead. But there were times where the Mavericks allowed too many runs against the San Antonio Spurs. At one point, a crucial 8-0 run in the fourth quarter would have been helped by the defense that Maxi Kleber plays, the multiple positions that he does. Obviously, being injured, not being able to be a participant in this game. But that is a prime and perfect example of how important and how valuable Maxi Kleber is. Now we spin this thing forward when you look at what the Mavericks have going forward. They played against the Philadelphia 76ers before, traveling to the Memphis Grizzlies before they come home against and have games against the Sacramento Kings, the New York Knicks, and they also welcome in, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers, who could see the return of Anthony Davis in the middle of those two games, April 22nd and April 24th at the American Airlines Center. So the Dallas Mavericks could see the returning Anthony Davis. LeBron James is scheduled to come back within the next 3 weeks. The possible debut of one JJ Redick, who will provide them another three-point shooter, a guy who in his previous 15 games before the right heel inflammation was shooting 46% from the three-point line, although he's shooting a career-low 36% from the three-point line this season. He was playing extremely well before the right heel inflammation. He has been doing 5-on-5 work. He has been doing live drills with coaches, and it appears that he is primed and ready to make his debut potentially as early as against the Philadelphia 76ers. May be able to do so more thoroughly against the Memphis Grizzlies before they return home, the Mavericks do, for those crucial set of games against the Sacramento Kings, the Knicks, and also welcoming in the Los Angeles Lakers. But regardless, the imminent debut of JJ Redick appears to be coming, and they need his veteran leadership and presence in this lineup, because in games against the Houston Rockets and games against the San Antonio Spurs, inferior teams, you cannot have the lapses in concentration that they did at the end of the fourth quarter when somehow, some reason you decided not to send a double team at a guy in DeMar DeRozan who has scored 27 of his 33 points in the second half and was killing you from the mid-range and in the perimeter throughout this game. Those are the kinds of things, whether you want to put it on Rick Carlisle, who said he does put it on himself for not sending the double team. That was something they talked about during the timeout before DeMar DeRozan ultimately hit the game winner with 0.5 seconds left. Those are the mental lapses in concentration from the coaching staff and from the players that you simply cannot have. Somebody has to step up and recognize DeRozan is killing you. We cannot give away this game. After Luka Doncic had tied it up at 117 with a mid-range floater in the lane, you gave yourself an opportunity to get the game into overtime by simply focusing on the little things and the details. That simply did not happen in this game. Those are the kinds of things that a Maxi Kleber, a JJ Redick, the veterans who are on this team, yes, JJ Redick making his debut, will provide you in those crucial moments. But more so than anything, the Mavericks have got to stop playing down to their competition while playing extremely well against teams that are said to be NBA championship contenders, i.e. the Utah Jazz, i.e. the Milwaukee Bucks. In order for this team to truly mature and be the kind of true Western Conference championship contender that they want to be, you cannot give away games on the road against inferior competition like the Houston Rockets and then do so even against a bitter rival when games are always close against the San Antonio Spurs when they are not on the same level as you, especially when you get 29 from Luka Doncic, you get 31 and 15 from Kristaps Porzingis, you get another 16 from Josh Richardson in this game. Simply inexcusable. You got out-rebounded by the Spurs. You shot 13 of 42 from the three-point line. The bench in this game started to play well later in the third quarter, into the fourth quarter, but the bench production was simply not good enough. And you have to have all hands on deck when you have one of your most valuable pieces in a Maxi Kleber missing this basketball game. We will see going forward how this Mavericks team responds as they take on yet another top Eastern Conference contender in the Philadelphia 76ers. And then they welcome in the Los Angeles Lakers in about 10 days to the American Airlines Center for two crucial games that will allow them the opportunity to play teams that are in front of them, i.e. the Los Angeles Lakers, to try and move up in the Western Conference standings. But the lesson learned in this game, as Rick Carlisle likes to say, you can't keep playing down to competition and think, number one, you're going to make the playoffs, but two, take the kind of championship step forward that you need to be considered a serious Western Conference championship contender. We'll see. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for all things Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. This has been another episode of The Gray Area. We'll talk to you later. Peace.